What is up, boys and girls? It's the Sound Alchemist here to bring you 40 facts on Age of Sigmar lore. That's right, guys. If you guys didn't catch the one from yesterday, I did 40 facts on the Sylvaneth. Now, Sylvaneth is my personal favorite army in all of AoS. So if you guys want to send us some suggestions or whatnot, or if you guys want us to stop this and just focus on 30k and 40k, let us know in the comments. Again, if you guys didn't catch part 1, check it out. There's a playlist on this, and also if you guys want to send me suggestions to your lore, send it over to our Facebook page. We got a bunch of them going on now, so check them out. There is a fan lore playlist, so check that out as well. But again, guys, I've been talking a little bit too much, so let's dive into this AoS Sylvaneth lore. So basically, recapping where we left off, the armies of Nurgle have been ravaging the Sylvaneth, and finally, Sigmar and his armies came to get Alarielle to fight once again after she basically retreated. She's like, nope, Nurgle's here, I'm out. But after fighting and losing and falling into despair, she transformed into a soul pod. So let's continue on. When Alarielle collapsed and shrank into her glowing soul pod form, it seemed that all was lost. The goddess could not battle her tormentors in such a state, and with her realm so diseased, there was no guarantee that she would have the strength to rejuvenate herself ever again. And even if she did, none could be sure that she would not be irrevocably tainted by the poisons of chaos that coursed through her lands. Being led by the Plague Lord Torglug the Despised, Nurgle's servants had smashed their way past the rearguard of Sylvaneth and Stormcasts, who stood to bar their path. Torglug's festering horde was snapping at the heels of Alarielle's guardians, sure of imminent victory. But amidst the darkness of such impossible odds, true heroes shine all the brighter. The Lady of Vines took up Alarielle's soul pod and led her desperate warbands into the wilds. The branch wraith moved with purpose, determined that her mother would never fall to Nurgle's festering clutches. Alarielle's protectors made haste along the cascading path. The magical causeway flowed across the land in a raging torrent of life magic, bearing the Sylvaneth and Stormcasts to the edge of the forest of Druidia. Their head start was short-lived. However, for Torglug was a native of Girin, and he also knew the spirit path. By the time the Lady of the Vines and Loris Grimm were nearing the forces to the edge of the Sea of Serpents, the hordes of Nurgle were slithering close behind. It was then that the land itself came to Alarielle's rescue, in the form of a dying Jotunberg, one of the fabled living winters. An animated mountain of incredible size, this monolithic being had sickened beneath the influence of Nurgle, though it managed to muster enough strength to lumber into the ocean waves before it fell for the last time. As Jotunberg passed, its ensorcered energies flowed outwards, freezing the Sea of Serpents into a wave-curled ice shelf across which Alarielle's guardians could continue to flee. By now, the protectors were fighting almost every step of the way. Lord Castellan Grimm and his hallowed knights won one savage rearguard clash after another. 4 spirits from half a dozen different clans fought and died to protect Alarielle. Tree lords of Clan Langdriel battled alongside dryads from clans Belanth and Tethel. More Stormcasts flashed down from above, as Sigmar sent his knights Excelsior to aid in the desperate flight. Through pure heroism and bloodshed, Alarielle's protectors at last won through to the far shore. They had entered the kingdom of Blackstone, and there the Lady of Vine's plans was revealed. With their pursuers driven back or plunged into the raging holes of ice, the branch wraith led her surviving followers along the path of the purified. This ancient way sang with cleansing life magic, and would, the Briar Wraith hoped, drive away any chaos taint from Alarielle's soul pod. The healing road led up to Blackstone Summit, a high and lonely place upon which had been buried the heroic deed of the First Ironthorn War. The Lady of Vines intended to plant Alarielle's seed in soil blessed by the touch of such heroes, hoping that their nobility and desire for vengeance would infuse the Queen of the Radiant Wood and allow her to be reborn in the most bountiful and warlike aspect, singing with the fury of a warrior queen renewed. The Lady of Vines knew her efforts would not go unopposed, and sure enough, the final battle atop Blackstone Summit was as desperate as it was glorious. The Chaos Lord Torglug waited there, all the feculent might of Nurgle at his command. Alarielle's defenders took a huge toll up their foes, but still they fell. When Torglug hacked down the Lady of Vines, Alarielle's fate seemed inevitable. Yet at that moment, Sigmar's Celestiant Prime swept down from on high, smiting Torglug and scattering his followers. Alarielle's soul pod was saved, taking root upon a fresh battlefield amid the cooling blood sap of her most devoted daughter. The goddess's spirit flowed into the land, and a change began. Time flowed ever onwards, racing away from the moment of Alarielle's planting like a gushing river. Lives fell like leaves from withered boughs, dancing upon the folded wind before being swept away. Giran cracked and crumbled like parched earth in Nurgle's courteous grip. The war of life, once again a raging forest fire, was little but embers and ash, smothered by rancid slurry. And yet, change was coming. Branches that were rotting away stiffened with new life. Fresh green leaves unfurled from them. Waters that had long churned with filth ran clear and musical once more. Cool breezes blew from hidden cells, thick with the scent of wildflowers and pine sap. Gradually the influence of Alarielle was felt, a burgeoning of life, a breathless pause before the plunge. And then came the moment of sudden bloom. The Queen of Radiant Wood was reborn from the land she loved, and as she rose, she sang. All across Giran, the spirit song swelled, pouring out into every realm, a cascading, tumbling, soaring crescendo of hope, fury, loss, and exhilaration. Alarielle's children felt their mother's might, even as the servants of Nurgle qualied. Wrongs would be right, the lands would be healed, and places of power would be reclaimed. The war of life would begin anew. The Sylvaneth would have their revenge. As Alarielle sowed her seeds through the winds of Giran, she sang a beautiful song for her children to be. More than melody, it was an outpouring of love and wisdom, an enchantment that would bind the Sylvaneth to one another, even as it bonded them to her. Whether it was Dryad or Tree Lord, Kurnoth Hunter or the Tree Reverend, all Sylvaneth hear this spirit song from their first moments of life. It flows into their thoughts, courses through their bodies, and echoes from their roots all the way to the land itself. The spirit song is impossible for most non-Sylvaneth to comprehend, and can cause terrible pain to those who do. It is as much emotion as metaphor as it is harmony, and only the barest edge of this magical phenomenon can be expressed vocally. The more Sylvaneth present, the greater the chorus swells. Alarielle's children draws comfort and strength from this melodic bond, and conversely, they know no greater fear than becoming a single lonely voice amid the silence. The spirit song is what ties the Sylvaneth to those fractured realm roots that remain, the spirit paths along which most powerful of their number can travel, and allows them to communicate as a race over great distances. It is a vital tool in battle, allowing noble spirits to coordinate their forces, to warn their warriors of danger, and to know their followers' thoughts as though they were their own. The armies of Sylvaneth fight with the wrath of nature unleashed. They are terrifying foes, for though they can appear as graceful as a warm zephyr, they can swiftly transform into a hollowing gale. Keening bands of dryads burst from ambush amongst the weird woods, their branch wraiths leading them in a lashing dance of war. While these forest folk encircle the enemy, the noble spirits flicker along the spirit paths to slam into their foes from unexpected angles, locking the enemy in place while the rest of the Sylvaneth war growth picks them off mercilessly apart. Under this onslaught, enemy battle lines crumble like mighty cliffs torn down by swift snaking roots. The forest folk are the most widespread and numerous of the Sylvaneth. They are the dryads and branch wraiths, whose numbers have been rising sharply since Alarielle's return. Though now a key part of the Sylvaneth war against the Dominion of Chaos, the forest folk were not warriors during the Age of Myth. At that time, dryads and branch wraiths were peaceful creatures, deeply spiritual beings who instinctively tended the wild places of Giran. When the Age of Chaos began, the forest folk suffered horribly. It was no longer enough to take shelter while the noble spirits fought on their behalf. Any Sylvaneth who could not fight was doomed to fall beneath the invaders' blades. Through successive generations, the forest folk were winnowed down until only the strong and cunning survived. They learned to fight from the shadows, and to defend their enclaves with vicious determination. In contrast, the noble spirits had always been warriors. They led the soldiers of the Sylvaneth as commanders and champions. They are stern and somber. From the Tree Lord ancients who ruled the world lands, to the ranks of tree revenants that patrol the enclaves and form the heartwood of any Sylvaneth army. It is these noble spirits who protect and preserve the spiritual heritage of their people. Within the noble spirits live the race memory of the Sylvaneth, echoes of former lives ringing back through the ages into the farthest mists of time. Some even claim that the noble spirits preserve dim recollections of worlds that were, and that it is from these deep-set roots that the notion of mythical protectors sprouts. None amongst Alariel's children know precisely who or what the protectors were, or whether these beings were even real. They only know that a notion persists, an idea of nobility and selfless guardianship that the noble spirits still model themselves on today. Many amongst the noble spirits even come to physically resemble the ghosts of the protectors that echo in their memories, and draw in the magic and minerals of the land up through their roots to craft weapons like those of the protectors who believed to have wielded long ago. The noble spirits rule over all Sylvaneth enclaves with ancient wisdom and timeless caution. They serve their goddess mother in all things, and owe no loyalty to any other than Alariel. It is upon the orders of the noble spirits that the Sylvaneth march to war, and it is by their strength that they prevail. The division between the noble spirits and the forest folk is as natural to the Sylvaneth as the flowing of water or the stirring of wind. Alariel's children do not question such matters, but they are content to know that their roles are sanctioned by nature itself. And that is the end to the Sylvaneth lore that I will be giving you guys today. As always, head on over to the wiki page to learn more about the Sylvaneth. There's tons more that I didn't go over, so definitely check them out. Really awesome page, really awesome information there, so check it out for sure, guys. Also, I deeply recommend you guys get the Battle Tome of the Sylvaneth. Really awesome artwork in there, really great lore, and it helps you build the army. So if you want to dive into Age of Sigmar, that'd be a great start. Again, guys, this is probably my favorite army in all of AoS, second only to the Stormcast Eternals. Now, when I was creating my own custom Space Marine army, I was this close to using Stormcast Eternals as my models, but I'm like, nah, I gotta keep it OG, go with them 30k figures. But yeah, guys, that's how close I was to using AoS figures. I know, call me a heretic. But anyway, guys, let me know what you guys think about the Sylvaneth. Let me know if you guys want us to continue doing AoS 40 Facts videos. I know this is only the second time we've covered Age of Sigmar, so again, let us know if we should continue, if we should stick to 40k and 30k, or, you know, any other suggestion you guys want. Don't forget, we do have an Instagram, a Twitter, and a Facebook page. Facebook, we post each and every day, so check it out for all things 40k. We also have a Patreon. A simple dollar helps us give you more giveaways, helps us bring you more 40k videos, and more videos in general. So if you guys can do that, that'd be great. If not, it's alright. Simply like, comment, and subscribe. And that's all I've got for you guys. As always, I am the Sound Alchemist, part of One Mind Syndicate, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow.